It's been 6 weeks of hard training in the heat in preparation for the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, and I am definitely starting to feel it. Week 7 had one very clear objective: just make it through to week 8. That'd be a deload week, and hopefully it'd cool down just long enough for me to hit the peak of the block and make that ambitious sub 3 target. Hey, welcome back. Or if you're new here, my name's Eric. I'm a hobbyist runner from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I have aspirations of running the Boston Marathon. Now, if at any point in any training block your sole objective is to survive, then you might think something's gone horribly, horrifically wrong. And you would be right, but I did not think that. After a rest day, week 7 kicked off with a session. 6 by 1600 meters at 10k race pace, adjusted. Why adjusted? Well, now I've been trying to remain upbeat and chipper through these, but the weather has a way of wearing you down, and I can tell you I'm a little worn down, and look at that. Yeah, it rained last night. Now you'd think it'd be cooler, right? Nah, it's like 24 degrees Celsius out there right now. More like feels like 30. So this session is gonna feel like death. All right, let's get out there. You know, usually I take this between 345, 350 per kilometer, but I think we're gonna adjust for today. Even this warm-up is brutal. My God, like, am I tripping? But there's like a lot of walkers on the track right now. What the hell is this? Probably worst day of the year. They all come out of the woodwork? What? It doesn't bother me, they're like lane 4 or 5, but some of these guys are like in lane 1. Which is like, dude, all right, warm-up's done. Let's go for some strides. It's not even 8 right now, cicadas are already screaming. Okay, something I'm trying to do is to not hit the strides at a full sprint. The strides are not sprints. You should be barely getting out of zone 2 for these. Humidity is punishing right now. Okay, first one, same for 4 minutes. See how we do. About 4 minutes per kilometer. Doesn't feel bad. Doesn't feel good either. I'm trying to stay upright. So I think because I'm leaning forward too much. So yeah, keep that in mind. First lap's done. Feeling a little cooked. Gonna put away the camera and get to work. Just got finished and I am just a bug kill zone right now. I don't know if you can see that, but like all over my front, those are dead bugs. And yeah, like maybe a little TMI, but this has like dripping with sweat. It was just dripping as I was doing the cool down, which I had to stop because at a certain point, like the heart rate just wasn't going down. I was just beating myself up further in that summer heat. Gotta get back now. Got a treadmill delivery coming in a bit. Even with the adjustments, the session was really hard, and by the 4th interval, I just could not sustain the pace, especially with a stiff lower back and hip. With that in mind, I made adjustments to the rest of the week. I moved the recovery day from Friday over to Wednesday, and then ran twin 16k easy runs and a session on Saturday. The session was 29k, 19 of that was at steady pace, and then it was 6 by 3 minutes on at 10k race pace adjusted, and 2 minutes off at an easy jog. And in all honesty, this one hurt. Right hip's still aching a little, but it should be okay. It's only 6 by 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off. We have to cut the miles short today, but we'll play by ear. Just another kilometer for warm-up. We're gonna push a steady pace instead of easy. We'll see how we shake out. The hip is not inspiring confidence right now. Now, I said this in the last video, but I'm gonna say it again here because it bears worth repeating. It was so obvious in hindsight. Hobbling along with your right leg basically upright and your left leg dragging the rest of your body along and then pausing every half an hour to stretch out the pain is a sign that something's not right. Now, if this is so obvious, then how did I miss it? Well, unfortunately, I have a relatively high pain tolerance, and although that is a good thing to have as a distance runner,
When you're out there training, it also means you might neglect some early warning signs. And the next day, I just wasn't feeling really good, so rather than force myself to do the 13K on the cards, I just decided to break down the old treadmill and watch some King of the Hill. A pretty relaxing day, all things considered. And I also made a very startling discovery.
Okay, and we're done. So that scrap metal is probably gonna have some value, but that plastic stuff over there, straight to the garbage, unfortunately. Admittedly, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought it'd just be a matter of just like ripping everything apart. Interesting thing though, I don't know if you can see that, but there were these little, I don't know what those are called. Like little, almost kind of fiberglass shards coming off the deck. Like the deck was very dusty and stuff was sticking to it. Those could have only came from one place, the belt. This is the belt, and that is the hole that was worn right through. And yeah, if we flip this over, we can kind of see what was going on. See, all this is fraying and coming undone, and I think those bits over there, that's what that was. So it was only gonna be a matter of time before this kept going and going and going and going and going, and maybe something would have snapped, which, not an ideal situation.
I started week 8 off in denial. I thought if I just backed off the intensity on the activities, moderate some of the mileage, took a few hot baths, iced things a bit, things would get better, and they did not get better. Monday was a cross-training day on the stationary bike, and Tuesday was a very easy 10K, but my heart rate was slightly elevated and my cadence was a very shuffly 184 steps per minute. Usually my cadence will be in the 170s for an easy run. Aside from my gait being altered, it also meant I was just not producing a lot of power from each step. And Wednesday was the final straw. It was meant to be 3 by 2.5K at 10K race pace, but I adjusted that down to half marathon pace, and towards the end, I was just slowing down a lot and ended up well past marathon pace. There were a couple more days of cross training, a 20.5K easy run, and finally a recovery 5K that was just so painful, I could deny it no longer. I was injured. I booked a session with my PT and their reaction said it all. Hey, long time no see, what's up? Oh no, you're limping. And that caught me off guard because I hadn't even realized I was favoring my left leg a lot. After a battery of tests, it was determined I had a hip flexor strain. It's always the damn hip flexors, isn't it? It's like the bane of my existence. Unfortunately, this coincided with the peak weeks of my marathon training plan, and it means that my sub 3 goal is now impossible. Weeks 9 through 14 were the make or break of this plan, and I spent all of them injured. And I gotta say, it's pretty disappointing. I've been having a pretty tough time processing all this. But that's the nature of the game. I made a bet that I could handle the training, and I just couldn't. It didn't pay off. Week 9 was exclusively cross-training, and week 10 saw the return to some very easy running, but I probably should have just taken this off. If you look at my HRV values here, they were pretty low, and that's obviously because I was in some amount of pain. Week 11, there were some signs of life as I ran a mini fartlek, and for the first time in a very long time, I ramped up to between 10 and 5K race pace, even if it only was for about 5 seconds. And that brings us to today, September 16th. I have just a little bit under 5 weeks until the race, so what the hell am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna do this. Was that in?